And let's talk about the biggest example of them all. This is, beyond the shadow of a doubt, the biggest, most egregious way that this is exploited.
Okay.
And that is it legal to sell fan art at a convention?
Oh,
so we're going to give you the short answer.
The short answer.
The short answer is no. It is not legal. And
it is quite illegal to sell fan art at any forum, including conventions.
If you do not know what I am talking about, a fan art at a convention is like when you pass by and this person has posters of Dragon Ball Z characters, Marvel characters, etc., and they're really beautiful and they're selling them for like anywhere between 50 up, a pop.
Yeah.
Like this stuff right here. This is not legal. Now again, we're not giving legal advice, we're just telling you this is not legal because that's the way it is. But here's the deal is there are some of these distributors and fan artists who actually have permission from the IP holders because they're giving some back. They're sending a slice back.
Yes. When you're licensed by the copyright holder, by the IP holder to sell this work, and in return you give them a percentage of the proceeds. And
there are a lot of those artists who do that.
Yep.
But there are just as many who don't. And you don't know. Now, granted, the one fan artist that I have spoken to at a convention when we go to Comic Palooza, the one I like to buy, my go-to buyer. In fact, we have like right over here in the studio, like a picture of Sora from Kingdom Hearts, Lulu from Final Fantasy X. That person actually is licensed.
Yes.
By Square Enix, Buena Vista.
They obtained permission.
Right. But that's them. That's not everybody. So, and I see what Murda is saying. It's more of a pity than anything else for his sympathy. But, I mean, this is how I feel as a creative. And I'm asking everyone out there who's listening to this, how would you feel if your stuff was being sold by someone you didn't even know at a convention in a country you've never even been to for their profit? Would you feel good? Would you feel flattered? Or would you feel robbed? Especially if it was in some context you would never put the character in.
Yeah.
Like, we're protective of our Rosenheart characters. I would be pretty offended if someone did something vile with them.
Yeah.
Because, I feel protective of those characters. So, where's the line? Again, it's not legal to do this. Get permission. How would you guys feel if someone did that to your stuff? So, just thoughts. So,
at the end of the day, whether it's, whether it's an art piece that you're creating, or a sculpture, or a piece of merchandise, at the end of the day, you want to get permission.
Yeah.
From the original IP holder, if you're going to sell it.
I agree. And here's to kind of, Chad is kind of encapsulating this into two very different people.
Yeah.
Murder on one side, Lunchbox on the other, and I'm going to use, if it's all right, you guys as an example of really two sides of things. For example, Murda said, honestly, if someone took his character of Violet and did X, Y, and Z with her, he'd be fine.
Yeah.
Personally.
Because Murda feels it adds value to their game.
And that is a very valid way of looking at things. While Lunchbox is like, he'd be peeved. So, remember, guys, the best thing is to do is what BG mentioned in chat a few minutes ago. Just ask. Just ask. It doesn't take much to ask.
Yeah.
The worst thing a person can do if you ask is say no. That's the worst thing. And if you don't ask, the worst can be a lot worse, because they may have a legal leg to stand on. At the very least, it could get you blasted in the community you're in.
Ooh,
depending.
Yeah.
Just literally ask someone permission. You never know. They'll probably say yes. You can discuss the terms, and the next thing you know, you're legally making and selling the fan art of the characters you love.
Yeah, it just, as Chad is saying, you put that in your terms, your agreement.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, that's interesting, Wrath. So Wrath is saying a creator doesn't remember who it was of an IP. They went to a con and they saw bootleg plushies of the character they created.
Well, and the thing is this, there is a moment in which there'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool, but then there also would be a, why didn't they ask me moment?
Yeah.
And I think in the end, my personal feeling would be more the upset at not being asked.
Yeah.
Than someone else making money over it. And I say that if someone's making millions off of my idea, then I'd be pretty pissed. But if someone's just selling bootleg Victoria and Naomi plushies, or bootleg Victoria and Naomi posters, I'd be more upset about the fact they didn't ask me than the fact that they did it. Anyway, so yeah.
You know what I would do?
What would you do?
This is just what I would do.
What would you do?
If I saw that, I went to a convention and I saw that somebody was selling, bootleg Victoria and Naomi stuff. I go up to them, introduce myself, and tell them, I'd whip out my agreement right there, my licensing agreement, and say, okay, you want to do this, sign it, and I get this cut of your proceeds. Yeah. If you don't do it, all this is mine.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But then again, Teal...
And Burke would ask for a plushie of his own.
Teal probably has about 4 or 5 contracts in her bustier, so...
You're not kidding. You're not kidding. I'm always prepared.